bird going here. So 2 sticks of butter in the microwave. So this is our injection that we made. Didn't solidify. It's good. So we are going to take some of this chicken stock that we made, and we're going to pour that in there. Give that a good shake. That's going to be our injection. So that's our injection there. Nice and shook up. We get our butter ready. So once our butter is ready, we'll have the injection and then the compound butter. These two pair really nicely. The Cajun and the lemon basil. Lemon basil is great. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some lemon basil to really flavor up this butter and make a compound butter. We're gonna add a little bit of Cajun to it. That way we can season this bird underneath the skin really well. So we let that sit, let that butter have a second to cool down. Put that off to the side. Injection, we got our butter. So we're going to do a little voiceover since there was a bunch of people in the background. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the old pop turkey's done out of this thing. We don't need it. It's a false sign of security anyway. Then we're going to struggle and try to get this plastic out of here. So, of course, it's been a while. We'll get the big guns out here in a second and get the old kitchen shears and get this thing cut out. But the main thing is we want to just go ahead and get our turkey prepped and get everything done and ready to go. So we're going to go through this in real time. That way everybody knows. We're going to get the giblet bag out of there. Get this plastic out of here. I don't want it in there. Throw that away. Then we're going to get up inside this bird and get the rest of it out of there. And while we're here, when they got the kitchen shears, we're just going to go ahead and trim off some of this excess fat and flap. We're just going to throw it all back in the pan because we're going to use all this leftovers for stock anyway. We're going to make some turkey gumbo with this. That's one thing about this turkeys is just drain everything in the pan. If you want to wash it off and you want to do everything, you can do whatever you want to do. Don't crucify me for not doing this because everything's going to be made with stock after I get done. Turkey neck's going to get roasted in here. We're going to make sure there's nothing else inside this bird. Make sure the cavity's open. That way the inside can cook, the outside can cook. We're not going to throw anything on the inside of this bird because we're going to have this thing jammed up with some flavor. So the goodie bag, you're going to take and dump that in there. The only thing that was in there is a gizzard and a heart. So we'll just use that for stock also. Discard the bag. Now, the skin was kind of messed up in the front of this bird, but it's okay. It'll work out. We wasn't trying to do a pony show presentation of this thing or really win any awards. Just basically want to show you, get up underneath the skin, really just kind of work it back and forth. And that's all you really need to do. Just take your time, work your hand back and forth to get the skin separated from the breast and the skin separated from the legs as much as you can get in. Sometimes there's little tendons in there that kind of hang up on you, but take your time. If you need to get a pair of scissors or a knife to get up underneath there and cut some of those little tendons or whatever that's holding that skin on, just do what you got to do, but try not to break the skin. Just kind of hold it and work your hand in there as much as you can. So as we continue to work this bird from the inside, try to get all the skin separated. We're just going to get all this turkey prepped up. I'm going to cut those wings off. They tend to burn. Looks like I have a wing that fell off on the other side. That's what happens when you buy a turkey for $7. So we got 3 of them. I don't discriminate. I don't care what kind of turkey it is or what kind of package it has. They all cook the same. And trust me, whenever I say this, if you cook a turkey right, it doesn't matter if you buy what brand or what color it is or where it came from. As long as it didn't, come out of some dollar store, you should be fine. All these turkeys come from the same place. We just got different wrappers. All right, now that we got our turkey kind of where we want it, all the skin's loosened up, all the prep work there's done. We took the wing tips off. The wings, we're just going to coat this bird inside, outside with this butter and flavor mixture. So I want to do this first before I inject it, simply because once I start pushing on this thing, I don't want to push all my injection out. And that will happen. So make sure you coat this thing really well on the inside with that butter and seasoning. It's just going to make it way better. And the trick to the skin part and putting butter underneath the skin really is to keep that skin from cracking on you. That skin will stay whole. You're not going to have a busted skin. As this thing cooks, that skin's not going to have a time to separate. It's going to be able to move around the breast and around the legs. And as that turkey cooks, that's really what you want to do, is ideally is have the skin be able to move as it cooks. There's a million ways to do this thing. This is one of the ways that I do it. So just use this as a learning tool. But I'm telling you, this bird is going to come out and it's going to be amazing. Because I even surprised myself the way this thing came out. Really, really good. So just continue to coat inside, outside, you know the drill. Use all that butter. Use everything. Because once we get done filling this cavity with the rest of this butter and just rubbing it down, then we're going to inject it. Okay, turkey's all rubbed down with butter inside and out. Now we're going to take our homemade injection that we got, that we added some chicken stock to kind of thin it out some. The old trusty dusty injector, and then we're going to go into this thing. So you'll see right there I'm injecting the wings. Make sure you get a good injection on everything. Of course, can't see this part, but I'm injecting the wing on the other side. I'm going to go back into this mixture here. Inject the legs, the breast, the thighs. Just make sure you get an injection everywhere. Use all or as much of that injection as you can. You can't over inject this thing. Turkeys are dry. They're naturally dry. Moisture, the trick is to season. And I think the biggest thing is to let your turkey rest. When it's done in the oven, shut your oven off. Either leave your turkey in there for an hour after it's done, shut your oven off, or take it out of the oven, cover it in aluminum foil or a brown paper bag or whatever, and let it rest for at least 30 to 45 minutes before you start cutting this thing. This is no different than doing a butt or a brisket or any other large cuts of meat. Let it rest. That way all that juice will stay in there. Think about a pork tenderloin. Nice and juicy when you first slice into it, and as soon as you slice into it, all the moisture's gone. So just think of it like that. So we're going to inject multiple parts of the breast, the thigh, the wings, multiple sections of each one of these legs and get this thing just really injected very, very good. That way all the meat gets hit with this injection. So we've injected our bird, and now it's time to finish her off to throw her in the oven. We've got a little bit of string here, some butcher's twine. We're going to cut that. It doesn't want to cut for some reason. Scissors are wet. And we're going to put these legs together and just tie these things up in a knot. Not really too difficult on this. Do it however you want to do it. Just kind of tie them up, tie them together. That way it keeps everything kind of intact. Presentation wise, it looks good. So the last step here, we're going to just take that Cajun seasoning and we're going to cover this thing with Cajun seasoning. You can use whatever seasoning you like, but we're going to use the Compass Point Blend Cajun seasoning to cover this whole thing. And once we get it done, we're going to throw it in the oven. So we have this Cafe Series double oven set that we've had for years in our last house, and then we bought it again in this house. Really, really good set. It has a dehydrator, a proofer, all kinds of these neat little settings. And as I mess around with the camera and the tripod to try to get this zoomed in correctly, you'll see it's got Wi-Fi and all this other stuff. You can control all the smart kitchen with everything. But anyway, as we get into this, you'll see that we have precision cooking right here. So precision cooking, we have meats, and then we'll go to whole turkey. Size of your turkey, 12 to 16 pounds. It tells you exactly which rack to put it in. So this is a smart cooking setting. I've never used it before. Just on a whim, I didn't want to do it on the green egg because I'm going to do a green egg turkey for Thanksgiving. I'm going to do a spatchcock. So I decided to use this preset. So it's got a thermometer in the oven. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that right there in the turkey breast where it doesn't hit the bone. It actually says that up here on this screen. You'll see, put in broiler roasting pan, fully insert probe into turkey breast, not touching the bone. Okay, it's going to be done at 170 degrees. You hit start, and that's it. All right, the oven said it's done. I haven't opened the door, so it was done. We turned it off. Let's see how she looks. Ooh, she's pretty. Skin's still intact. All right, let's take her out of this jewel and see how she looks. All right, cut this part off. Ooh, that's hot. Man, that thing's full of flavor. So this thing hasn't really sat. So we're about to see how juicy this is. Like I said, I normally don't do this. I usually do it in the green egg. We're about to see. Well, she carves like that. And she doesn't break apart. She's good. We had some technical difficulties during this part of the video, but all said and done, super juicy, unbelievably flavorful. It was super really good. couldn't really believe actually how well the oven did, to be honest with you, with the preset on this cafe oven. I couldn't believe it. It was absolutely amazing. And then days afterwards, we made a turkey salad and some turkey sandwiches out of it, and the turkey was just unbelievable days after. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.